Hey anxious people, I, as you know, read tarot, usually for myself, although sometimes I do free tarot readings because I like the self-confidence of actually being asked to pay for it. But I am told by a select few that I am quite talented. So I normally read with the Smith Rider White deck, and that's it there. It's a small travel version and I like it because it actually is really easy to shuffle. And I know these cards very well. They've been with me for a while now. I usually carry them with me to work or when I visit friends' houses and do the very occasional reading. And I use this wonderful mat from a place on Etsy called Sew and Stone. But today I'm going to try something different. I have collected tarot cards sets for a while now. There's two that I primarily use, the Smith Rider deck, and my personal use deck is the She Tarot by Emily Carding. But I, a while ago, purchased a deck, Luna Samina Tarot Deck and Guidebook off Etsy. And it's based on the Smith Rider deck. But as you would see, it is black. So I really like the look of this deck, and I want to start using it. So that will be today. I will start using it today. Now I have a little thing of when I first use a deck, I ask it, what kind of deck are you going to be for me? Now I am an intuitive tarot reader. I rarely look up the guidebook. Sometimes I do for clarity, although when I do an initial reading, first reading with the deck, I will look up the guidebook for the reading to get a feeling of what the author of that deck has put behind it, because anyone who has read tarot will know that different decks have different feelings to them and can lead to different intuition. My neighbour is doing something weird out there. So I shuffle. I'm not used to cards this big and I'm awful at shuffling. I shuffle. What kind of deck are you going to be for me? I must admit, I'm a little trepidatious about this because I'm so used to the Smith Waite Tarot deck and I'm so used to the She Tarot. Another deck that I found really nice to use was actually the Halloween Tarot. I really enjoyed using that, but I only used that in October. So what kind of deck are you going to be for me? And then I cut it into 3. The order I put it back in is haphazard. Shuffle it again. 1 jumped out. You all know what that means. Oh. Okay. That jumped out. That does not alter my last reading, but I think I should start to draw some cards. So I have the High Priestess that has jumped out of its own accord. The 9 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. It's very interesting. So we have sequential cards here. I have shuffled this deck many times, so that is quite interesting. My first impressions is this deck will be used for balance and insight. And high potency spiritual power. Well, not spiritual, high potency insight, that it is a good deck for me. there's a lot of fruitfulness that can come from this deck. But I will look up what the guidebook has said about this, because I am not sure. The White Book, as we know, so the High Priestess, let's see if the meanings are the same as what we are used to. So the High Priestess of you have hidden mysteries, spiritual insight, and divine knowledge. Now is the time that you can be tuned into your intuition, and you have opportunity to access the knowledge deep within your soul. You hold answers and deeply. Yeah, well, it's a sanitized version. The Nine of Wands. You are halfway through a battle, fatigued and draining energy, but you are nearly there, close to success. You have resilience, courage, and strength of will. You may be guarded and wounded, and you may have, well, this is more of a prediction deck, isn't it? It is predicting. This is not what I'm getting from the deck at all, but it's interesting. It gives me a vibe. Ten of Wands says you are overburdened, overloaded, and having many responsibilities and major challenges. Well, yes. But that's not what I was asking for it, but that is actually what it's telling me. That's interesting. You might be taking on too much and feel like you are having an uphill struggle, and lack of fun and opportunity in your life right now. Just keep going, the end is in sight. And the Page of Wands is you feel fresh, cheerful, and childlike, and full of energy. You have bright ideas and exciting plans. You're becoming creative and free thinking and fearless. You're finding your passion, discoveries, investments, and okay, so that is interesting. That is not what I'm getting from this deck. I'm getting balance and I'm getting insight and intuition, but it is telling me, according to the author, something very different. So I have to actually take into account those two dual meanings. Looking at the White Book, and we always call it the White Book, even though this one's not particularly white, it's telling me that maybe for the moment, branching out to this deck isn't the right thing to do. So what I will do is go back to my trusty Smith Waite Rider Tarot deck. Right. Is the Luna Samina deck the right one for me? And the Empress has come out. That signifies that I'm more at home with this deck. And I feel more at home with this deck. Page of Wands. Interesting. Ace of Pentacles. King of Swords. Right. This deck tells me, these cards tell me that although I am more at home with this deck, and it has been fruitful for me, bright ideas, insights have led to a new path. The King of Swords has thrown up a quandary for me. Yeah, it's led to a new path. There is authority there, but I'm not sure how it goes in this yet at the moment. I'm still getting the feeling that using this deck is unsure. I think I actually have to begin to carry this deck with me. Part of bonding with a deck that I've learned that's beneficial for me, and I learned it off Benabel Wen, is that you should carry a new deck with you for a period of time. For me, I try and strive for 30 days and have it in my bag with me, and that way you tend to bond with it a little bit more. I did that with this particular deck. The She deck, which was my first tarot deck in my adult years, I didn't need to do that with for obvious reasons. But this, I think I'm going to have to carry this with me for a little bit and see how it goes. So, I have a new addition to my bag.